Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of magic. This is Scarehunter, and you're listening to Scarehunter Storytime. Many scary stories to chill your bones. Today's story is the tale of the ghost hiker. So turn off the lights, get cozy by the fire, and be prepared for some scares. On a clear sunny day, a man decided that he was going to go for a hike in the mountains. As he hiked, he began to notice some clouds coming in, but he kept going. After an hour, he noticed more clouds and began to hear the sound of thunder. As soon as the rain started pouring, the hiker tried to turn back. While he was looking for his way out, he realized he was lost. Somehow, he had gotten off the marked trail. He decided to keep walking in hopes of finding shelter out of the rain. He finally found a cabin and went to check it out. Soaking wet, he looked through the windows of the cabin and saw that it was empty. He broke a window and snuck inside. As he looked around the cabin, he found some wooden boxes and built a fire to dry himself off. While he dried off in front of the fire, he began to hear something that sounded like a noise. He figured it was just the wind and ignored it. After a few minutes, he heard the sound again and realized it was a voice he heard. As he listened more closely, the voice said, "Somebody, please, I'm cold and lost. I've been out here for days. Please help me. I'm hungry and scared. Help me." The hiker looked all over the house to find where the voice came from. After a while, the hiker realized the voice was coming from outside. The hiker knew it was a bad idea, but he figured whoever's outside might be hurt and could need help. When he got outside, the hiker heard the voice get closer. "I'm starving. Please give me something to eat." As the hiker continued searching, the wind began to pick up. While he was searching, the hiker got turned around and couldn't find the cabin. When the voice started again, it sounded closer and louder. "Hungry, hungry, 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 hungry." The voice said, and it sounded like it was coming from every direction. The hiker kept turning in a frenzy to find where the voice was coming from. He turned so fast that he got dizzy and fell to the ground. As the hiker crawled around, he he saw a ghost floating up to him fast. When the ghost got up to the hiker's face, it opened its huge mouth with sharp teeth and screamed, "Hungry!" Then the ghost began chomping on the hiker. As the ghost floated away, it quietly said, "Hungry." A few days later, a woman named Gabby was walking to work when a man came up to her and said, "Hey, Gabby, the newspaper editor wants to see you when you clock in, okay? Don't worry, you're not in trouble." Gabby smiled at the man and said, "Sure thing, John. I'll be right there." Gabby was a new journalist and was hoping to get a big story. As she walked in the building, she thought, maybe this time I'll get a big news story to write about. When she got to the editor's office, she smiled and said, "You wanted to see me?" The editor also smiled and said, "Yes, have a seat. I wanted to talk to you about a new assignment. You heard the story of the missing hitchhiker, right?" Gabby nodded, and the editor continued, "Well, I would like you to go up to the mountains and ask anyone if anything strange happened when the hiker vanished, or if they heard anything. I'm trusting you to get the story. Can you do it?" Gabby jumped out of her seat and said, "You can count on me, ma'am." The editor smiled and said, "I knew I could. That's why I gave it to you. Now go to it, and you can bring someone if you like. Just make sure they don't get in the way." Gabby nodded and said, "I promise I won't let you down. Well, I'm off." As she walked down the hall, she ran into John again. He saw her huge smile and asked, "Got a big story to look into?" Gabby nodded and said, "It's about that hiker who went missing in the mountains. The editor said I could bring someone with me. So what do you say, John? You want to come?" John looked at her and said, "Are you kidding? Of course I want to come." Gabby and John packed their writing supplies, their camping gear, then they headed up to the mountains. When they got to the mountains, they grabbed their gear and started hiking. On their hike, they asked others about the missing hiker, and each person said the same thing. "Ghost hiker. The ghost hiker got him. Ghost hiker. Ghost hiker." While Gabby was talking to another hiker, she asked, "Ghost hiker, huh? Can you tell me the story?" The hiker said, "Well, in the 1940s, an unknown male hiker got lost while out hiking in a rainstorm. The poor man ended up starving to death. Now his ghost haunts the woods looking for someone or something to eat. If I were you, I'd get out of here now before the rain comes. People say the ghost comes when it rains and begs for something to eat. If anyone, human or animal, is caught outside in the rain, becomes the ghost's next meal. So you better get out while you can." As the hiker left, Gabby looked at John and said, "Well, that was certainly interesting. What do you think of all this? What do you think of all this, John?" John looked at her and said, "To be honest, I don't know what to believe. I mean, they didn't sound or look like the kind of people who would make this up." Gabby said, "That's true. They did sound genuinely scared. Well, let's keep hiking, then we'll set up our tents." John nodded, and they kept going. They had been out walking for over an hour when storm clouds quickly came in. Thunder and lightning struck as the rain began to pour. Soaking wet, John and Gabby tried to run, but Gabby said, "John, I don't know how, but I think we're lost. John looked at her and said, My cell phone isn't working. No signal. What now? Gabby said, We keep going and keep filming in case the stories are true. John said, Since we don't have a choice, might as well. As they continued filming, Gabby said, Also, this can be shown to people if something happens to us. Hey, I think I see something. John looked at where she was pointing and headed towards it. When they got close enough, they saw a cabin. John and Gabby went to the cabin window and tried to see if there was anyone inside. They didn't see anyone and were about to leave when someone said, Hungry. Gabby grabbed John's arm and said, John, please tell me that it was you who said hungry. John shook his head and said, I wish it was me, but it wasn't me. We need to hurry and get inside the cabin. Gabby hesitated. Then she went inside with John. As they waited in the cabin, the voice got closer and louder. Please help me. I'm cold and hungry. I'm lost and I'm hurt. Please, the voice said. As the voice continued, Gabby grabbed the video camera and made her way to the door so she could film whatever was out there. She was about to open the door when John stopped her and said, Wait, Gabby, don't go out there. It's just one story. There'll be other stories. Are you really going to risk your life for some ghost hiker story? It's not worth it. Gabby looked at John and said, Look, I told the editor I could handle this, and I'm going to prove it. Now, if you don't want to come, that's fine, but I'm going. As she went out the door, John went after her. John grabbed Gabby and said, I'm not letting you get killed over some news story. Now let's go back to the When he turned around, the cabin was gone. They heard the voice again, and it sounded like it was coming from every direction. The voice said, Hungry, 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 hungry. John and Gabby ran as fast as they could. They both quickly stopped when they got to the edge of a cliff. They both noticed pointed rocks at the bottom. As they continued looking at the rocks, something grabbed them, and they were face to face with the ghost hiker. They tried to get free, but the ghost hiker just opened its huge mouth and screamed, Hungry! The ghost hiker floated away and whispered, Hungry. All that was left of John and Gabby was the video camera, still recording. That was the tale of the ghost hiker. Hope you guys enjoyed these, and if you are enjoying them, make sure you share with other people about these and let them know. Until next time, unpleasant dreams.